County Longford. Right, folks, after listening to this, or after I do this video, even those that don't understand Ireland's political circumstances will realise that what you think is governing the country most definitely is not governing the country. And once again, after listening to it, you will then realise that they are all Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, have been only in it for the money, nothing else, because the amount of spin doctors, media, political advisors, etc., that they have employed on their behalf exceeds those that are governing the country. Government departments and agencies are spending more than €30 million of your money a year on an army of spin doctors. The true figure is likely to be much higher than the disclosed expenditure of €30 million, as 9 departments failed to provide figures for the number of communications specialists working in state agencies under their control, or how much they are paid. Details of the scale of massive payout on spin are set to spark public ire as the so-called government faces 2 tricky by-elections this year, one in Dublin Central and one in Galway West. Now, there is a candidate running for Dublin West that what's attempted to govern the country will do everything in their power. They are even trying to bring in legislation to stop Gerard Hutch from even running for election, while the Dáil is full of people an awful lot worse than Gerard Hutch. It has already been reported that the so-called government's retinue of 61 spin doctors cost us taxpayers €7.5 million. But the new figures reveal that a vast layer of media and communications staff, consisting of 500 civil servants, are also being paid by the taxpayer to communicate government policies. This includes state agencies, including the Office of Public Works, which boasts no fewer than 13 communication staff, who are paid a combined total $691,000, higher than the total media spending in the departments of the Defence and Higher Education. Based on the figures provided, Enterprise Minister Mr. Peter Burke is the biggest spender on spin doctors. The Longford Westmeath TD revealed his department's communications unit comprised a total of 31 staff at a cost of $1,580,000 last year. So folks, as the title of this video says, what you think is governing the country is definitely not governing the country. What's governed the country has always been the media. And if people have, the public have respect for themselves, which by the looks of things, the general public has no respect for them in Ireland, that is those of us that is born in Ireland, we should be rejecting Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael big time, and every other establishment appointed political representative. But 10 agencies under Peter Burke's control, including the IDA, Enterprise Ireland, Fáilte Ireland, And Tourism Ireland clocked up a bill of 4,701,000. The total bill for Minister Burke's department and associated agencies came to 6 million. Social Protection and Rural and Community Development and the Gaeltacht Minister. Darry Callery's 2 departments and associated agencies employ no fewer than 71 communication staff at a combined cost of €4 million. Mr. Callery has 25 communication staff working directly for the Department of Social Protection at a cost of €1,231,000. Folks, this is going on while a lot of families out there are struggling due to the cost of living. And if we have any respect for ourselves, we will start rejecting the country's current political establishment selected and appointed political representatives. Mr. Callery has 25 communication staff working directly for the Department of Social Protection at a cost of €1.231 million. Media staff working in agencies under Callery's department include 2 communications specialists working for Citizens Information Board and 3 more for the CIB Awalya project at a cost of €314,000, bringing the total social protection spend to €1.5 million. Mr. Callery's Department of Rural and Community Development has 8 communication staff at a cost of €589,000. Well, guys, however, another 33 media employees are hired by state agencies working under the remit of the same department. These consist of the Charities Regulator, which employs 6 communication staff, Pobble 5 spin doctors, Uterus 5 spin doctors, the Western Development Commission 5 spin doctors, the Ulster Scots Agency 3, Forest na Gaeilge 2, and on Commission Tanya 1. Some people would never have heard of these before. At a cost of €1.9 million. This brings the total number of media staff working in the Department of Rural and Community Development and agencies under its remit to 41 at a cost of €2.5 million per year. Justice Minister Jim O'Callaghan confirmed 16 civil servants are employed directly as media and communication specialists in departments. But when communications employees working in state agencies that ultimately report to him are taken into account, that figure then rises to 96 people, spin doctors, at a combined cost of €3.9 million of your money. Foreign Affairs and Defence Minister, which is probably the most dangerous woman amongst us at the moment, another establishment, and only ever was and will remain until I think the public has no choice, only reject Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael big time if they want a better country for the generations that's coming behind us. And hopefully, if Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael were rejected some way or other, Ireland's youth might have a better chance of existing within the country and not under pressure. Incorporating jobs shares, Taoiseach and Fianna Fáil leader Micheál Martin confirmed there are 20.6 posts in his government information services, costing an estimated 1.5 million per annum. His Department of Finance employs 8 media staff at a cost of 600,000, the third lowest departmental figure. But of course, when a paper is referring to the Taoiseach, another establishment appointee, they're going to cover up for the Taoiseach of the day. In a statement, Mr. Harris said the Department of Finance does not engage in regular advertising and promotion of its policy work of the state agencies under the control of finance. The Financial Services Pensions Ombudsman employs 2 media staff at a cost of 278,000. While the Comptroller and Auditor General has 3 communications staff who will cost a combined 131,000 in 2026. The Central Bank boasts a staff of 8 at a cost of €809,000. The National Treasury Management Agency, NTMA, refused to reveal the cost of its 5 media advisors. So when they're not providing it, folks, there's obviously a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. The Revenue Commissioners have 5 communication staff who are paid combined 306,000. Dara O'Brien's multifaceted Department of Climate Change, Environment and Transport Ministries employs a flotilla of 34 media staff across his departments at a cost of €2.3 million. However, Minister O'Brien did not disclose the numbers employed in each agency or public body under the aegis of his departments. Another establishment appointee, obviously hiding something, guys. Public Expenditure Minister Jack Chambers said he's the root cause of a lot of the evil that's going on at the moment across Ireland. Public Expenditure Minister Jack Chambers said his department intended to deliver the communication function with a headcount of 13 this year at a total cost of €1 million. But when the cost of agencies such as OPW, Public Jobs 6 posts, National Shared Services 5 posts, the National Lottery Regulation 0.5 posts, and the Office of the Ombudsman are factored in, Mr. Chambers oversees a total of 40 media staff at a cost of €2.4 million. No doubt about it, the taxpayers of this country are very foolish people. Minister for Tourism, Culture, Arts, Gaeltacht, Sport and Media, Patrick O'Donovan, also oversees a multifaceted department which directly employs 12 communication staff at a cost of €780,000. Mr. O'Donovan did not provide figures for the agencies that ultimately report to him. These include a diverse portfolio of agencies such as, again, most of you people haven't heard the names of these agencies: Culture Ireland, Screen Ireland, the National Cultural Institutions, the Arts Council and RTE, which of course you all know, and you are forced into paying a licence to them for what? Purebred propaganda, bullshit and lies. The Arts Council alone boasts an 11-strong communications team. Despite this array of expertise, Mr. O'Donovan recently had to step in to stop the body spending up to 50,000 on external PR advice. RTE is also reported to have 14 communications specialists. However, the cash-strapped station still sought the advice of the blue chip media relations firm Q4 on an ad hoc basis. Housing Minister James Brown confirmed his department employs 14 media employees at a cost of 1.18 million. Again, however, the full extent of his spending on spin is far higher, as Mr. Brown also failed to provide figures for the communications costs of 25 state bodies under his department control. Minister for Children, Disability and Equality, Norma Foley, said her department has a total of 17 media staff at a cost of €960,000. However, another one that declined to provide details of the communication costs, clocked up by agencies such as TUSLA, who are under her remit. So you know now who to contact. Grandparents, parents that's affected by TUSLA, which seems to be a ruthless organisation. Contact Norma Foley. Land on her doorstep if you have questions to get answered, that the only way you will get them answered is by descending on these people's doors, unannounced and unexpectedly. Agricultural Minister Martin Hayden confirmed his department employs 13 media experts at a cost of $716,000. Health Minister Jennifer Carroll McNeil noted her department also employs 13 communication staff at the slightly higher combined cost of $856,000. Remember, guys, the people that I'm mentioning here, and there's more that is not even mentioned in this, are all establishment selected and appointed political representatives. If it was left up to the public and votes actually genuinely counted, a lot of these would never have been voted back into their positions. There's been two problems with Ireland's elections. One, we must fight to achieve casting and counting in our polling stations nationwide. And now, with the aid of social media, that is very, very easy done. So casting and counting, number one, in your respective polling stations. And another thing, if a voter after election results wants to pursue their ballot sheet and see that it has not been altered in any shape, make or form, there is no number on that ballot sheet to correspond with anything on your voting card. Higher Education Minister James Lawless' department employed the lowest number of communication staff, with 8 at a cost of $512,000. However, Mr. Lawless did not supply details of the communications expenditure in state bodies under his remit, which includes the Higher Education Authority, the Grange Gorman Development Agency, Solace, TIDA, Largus, Skillnet Ireland, and Quality and Qualifications Ireland. Folks, there's an awful lot of these agencies that you didn't even realise exist. Some of this expenditure is on important public information campaigns, but most of it is the government spending taxpayers' money for their own promotion, and that's exactly what it is, folks, because the political representatives that you are led to believe that are governing the country, they're not governing the country, folks. It's the media that they have hired to operate on their behalf. Do you ever remember voting for any of these media? No, you don't, but it still costs you serious money, guys. And I will stress once again that there's an awful lot of families out there at the moment, due to the unnecessary cost of living, struggling to live themselves. While this other percentage are living high lives, and the cost of living crisis is not affecting them at all. Who's at fault though? The general public. In 2018, Micheál Martin was scathing about the Strategic Communications Unit established by then Taoiseach Leo Varadkar, which cost €5 million, accusing Fine Gael with 13 staff of using public funds for political branding. But now, as Taoiseach, Micheál Martin is happy to stand over even more money being wasted on the very same thing, albeit in a more underhanded manner, because he is a devious bastard, guys. So it's up to us to do something about solving Ireland's problems. But Ireland's problem has always been stuck in your face since 1932-33, which are the cause of Ireland's problem are Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and has been since 1932-33. I think it's time the general public got their act together, no longer live in fear of these two political parties, along with other political parties, current political parties, and parties that have been formed in recent years. It's time to reject, guys, most definitely Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, because they are not governing the country, folks. They are there for the money, which is rather obvious after listening to this video, the contents of this video. The one thing you could do, we would like to, if you could share this with your fellow family members, fellow friends, and let them realise for once and all the sort of Ireland that they're living in. The next video will be on the immigration situation, which is costing taxpayers an enormous amount of money also. Okay, guys, from a wet and miserable County Longford, enjoy your day.